Hey, bonjour, and welcome back to the class. So today we will be looking at les pronoms compléments d'objet direct. Okay, one of them is le pronom un. So these are direct objects that are actually, pronouns are used to replace them. So that's what we are going to look at in this class. Are we ready? Now let's go. We'll continue with the next one here, basically to see. Now let's look at what is a pronoun. Okay, a pronoun is actually used, is a word itself that is used to replace another noun or a phrase. You can use it to replace a phrase or replace a noun. So what's the reason why we do that? We do that so that we can actually avoid repetition and then allow some kind of fluency in our expression or when we are writing. So it really helps. That's what it does. So in French, just like many other languages, there are many pronouns. Okay, not just these three that are listed here, but these are just examples like possessive pronouns, subject pronouns, personal subject pronouns. These ones like je, tu, il, elle, on, nous, vous, il, elle. D'accord? And then we have now direct object pronouns. If there are direct object pronouns, there are also indirect object pronouns. But for this very class, we are going to be looking at direct object pronouns. So in French, they are me, te, le, la, l'apostrophe, which is actually the same as le and la, nous, vous, les. So these last three are plural and the first one are singular, but we are still going to see that classification in the next, like we see here. So we have me, te, le, and la. Me, te, le, la. This is first person, second person, third person. So if the verb that is coming after any of these begins with a vowel or a silent H, then me becomes M apostrophe, te becomes the T apostrophe, et puis le en la deviennent L apostrophe. D'accord? Now, in plural, we have nous, vous, les. D'accord? Nous, vous, les. So I just want you to know that these le, la, l'apostrophe, les, they are different from articles. Okay, like determinants, they are not determinant in this context because they are placed before the verb. So if they are determinant or if they are articles, they have to be placed before a noun. That's the difference. The same way, we are going to have nous and vous, which actually looks like the subject, but they are not subject because of the way they are used. Now let's look at some examples quickly and see what it gives us. We have an example like je répare la voiture. Je répare la voiture. I'm repairing the car. Je la répare. I'm repairing it. I'm repairing it. So here, la voiture, which is feminine and third person, is feminine, so it's replaced by la. And then it is placed before the verb. The verb is répare. So la is placed right here before the verb. So we have je la répare. I'm repairing it. Okay? So instead of repeating la voiture, if this was a question, someone has asked you, tu répares la voiture? Are you repairing the car? You say, oui, je la répare. Yes, I'm repairing it. So instead of saying, oui, je répare la voiture. D'accord? Now, if we look at this also, je regarde la télé les mardis. I watch TV on Tuesdays. Paul la regarde tous les jours. Paul watches it every day. So, là, ici, remplace la télé. Je regarde la télé. D'accord? Nous attendons notre père. We are waiting for our dad. We are waiting for our dad. Nous l'attendons impatiemment. We are waiting for him impatiently, or we are impatiently waiting for him. L apostrophe, which is supposed to be le. Because notre père, our dad, is third person and is singular, so masculine. So it has to be le. But because the verb attendre begins with a vowel, so the le becomes L apostrophe. So it becomes nous l'attendons impatiemment. Rose aime les fleurs. Rose aime les fleurs. Je les aime aussi. Rose likes flowers. I like them also. Okay, les fleurs, plural, basically. So it is replaced by le and placed before the verb. Now, one of the biggest questions like people you can actually ask is, how do I know a direct object? How do I know what is a direct object in a sentence? Now, one of the easiest way that you can do this, it's when you are able to answer the question quoi, what, or qui, who, after the verb. So if the answer you get it's an answer to quoi, what, or qui after the verb, then what you are getting is a direct object. Par exemple, for instance, je répare la voiture. I'm repairing the car. Je répare quoi? I'm repairing what? Répare quoi? So it just comes immediately after the verb. This really worked. All right. So la voiture is a direct object. So we can replace it by a pronoun if you are to repeat it in the sentence or in the consequence, sentences that will come. For instance here, nous attendons notre père. We are waiting for our dad. We are waiting for who? Nous attendons qui? Who? Qui? Nous attendons. Attendre is the verb. So another thing is to be able, to locate the verb and then see if your direct object is there right beside the verb. Or, it's easier to know it that way. So that's very important, and I think that really helps. Let's move on. Now, there are some guiding rules in using direct objects. All right. So first, used with a single conjugated verb, the direct object pronouns are placed before the verb. So if you are using a single conjugated verb like this, regarde, or elle me regarde, she's looking at me. Elle me regarde, she's looking at me. Not elle regarde moi, she's looking at me. But in French, instead of saying elle regarde moi, we say elle me regarde. So here it is placed right before the verb. Okay, that's one. Two, in simple tenses such as present tense, ne pas, which forms which helps you to form the negation, okay, to have a negative sentence, the ne pas goes around the object, okay, sorry, this is the mistake, it should be just the object pronoun and the conjugated verb to form a negative sentence. So it goes around both. This is ne and pas. Elle ne me regarde pas. So we have me regarde, the pronoun and the verb, and then the ne and pas goes around them, it's at the beginning of them, at the end, just after the subject. Elle ne me regarde pas. She is not looking at me. Elle regarde ma soeur. She's looking at my sister. Elle ne me regarde pas. Elle regarde ma soeur. So you can see what happens here. All right. And another one is when an infinitive follows a conjugated verb. So it means you have two verbs. One is conjugated and one it is not. The direct object pronoun goes before the infinitive. In a negative statement, ne and pas goes around the conjugated verb. Let's look at what this means. The first example, je vais acheter les livres. I'm going to buy the books, or I'm going to buy books. Je vais acheter les livres. Je vais les acheter. In this sentence, we have vais, which is aller conjugated in simple present, and the verb acheter, to buy. And when you have aller conjugated plus infinitive, it expresses future, like nearest future, future proche, something you are going to do very soon. Je vais chanter, I'm going to sing. Je vais danser, je vais voyager. So anything you want to do in the nearest future, you can use avoir, you can use aller plutôt, but you can use aller, all right? So conjugated in simple present plus the infinitive of the verb, and then it continues. But when we are using direct pronoun, the rule says that the pronoun is placed in between the verb, the conjugated verb, and the infinitive. Like here, je vais les acheter. I'm going to buy them. I'm going to buy books. I'm going to buy them. So the les here is now placed before the infinitive. Remember, when it is a single verb, a single conjugated verb, it is placed before that verb. But when we have these two verbs, one is conjugated, the second one is infinitive, then it stays in between them. All right. Now, if it is a negative sentence in this context, the ne and pas only goes around the conjugated verb so that the pronoun can be placed before the infinitive. Je ne veux pas manger la pomme. I do not want to eat the apple. Je ne veux pas manger la pomme. I do not want to eat the apple. Je ne veux pas la manger. I do not want to eat it. I do not want to eat it. So, je ne veux pas la manger. So, these are some rules, and we can see more examples here. Il appelle toi et moi. He's calling you and me. Il appelle toi et moi. Is he calling you and me? Oui. Il nous appelle. Yes, he's calling us. Us. Okay, you can see where nous is used as a pronoun. It's not a subject. Is he calling you and me? Yes, he's calling us. Maman cherche Rose et toi. Ooh. Give me a second. Probably I need to do these corrections quickly. So this is toi. We noticed one earlier where somewhere here we said the project I placed before the object. Okay, I think I should do those corrections. It is easier. Yeah, easily made like that. All right, so let's get back here. Now, we are here. Maman cherche Rose et toi. Mom is looking for Rose and you. Is looking for both of you. Elle vous cherche. She's looking for you. Elle cherche vous. She's looking for you. All right? So this is how these are used. And let's see the last one. Est-ce que tu aimes la biologie et le français? Est-ce que tu aimes la biologie et le français? Do you like biology and French? Yes, I like them. Oui, je les aime. Oui, je les aime. Yes, I like them. D'accord? Oui, je les aime. Ça va? All right, so let's continue with some rules. Now, in the passé composé, when you want to use pronoun, these object pronouns in passé composé, the past participle agrees in number and gender with the preceding direct object. Remember, for you to be able to have a direct object, it means in passé composé, the auxiliary you're using is avoir, because with être, it's a little bit complicated. So we are not going there. Okay, so usually in this case, it's in a case where you use the auxiliary avoir in passé composé. So when you do that, normally, the rules in passé composé says there is no agreement when you use avoir in passé composé. The past participle doesn't agree. If I say elle a mangé, she ate, I'm not going to add e to manger because it is elle. Okay, but if I say elle est tombée, she fell, because I use être, elle est tombée. So tombée will have an e at the end so that it agrees with the L. But in passé composé, it doesn't. Now, against that rule, it is said that if the direct object is placed before the verb, that's the rule. If the direct object if it comes before the verb, then the past participle will agree with the direct object. Now let's look at this. Tu as mangé la viande hier. Si, tu as mangé la viande. Tu as mangé quoi? You ate what? La viande. Here you see that la viande, which is the direct object, it's placed before the verb. The verb here is à manger. That's the verb. À manger. That's the verb manger in passé composé. So, the direct object here is after. It comes after the verb in this question. So, there's no agreement, nothing. Okay, we have la viande, which is feminine. But the answer says, oui, je l'ai mangé. Yes, I ate it. So the question is, j'ai mangé quoi? I ate what? L apostrophe. That's the direct object. So, which is placed before the verb. And because it is placed before the verb, it has to agree with the past participle. So how do we know? We know L apostrophe here replace la viande. So la viande is feminine and it is right there looking at us. We know it. For that reason, the la viande here, which is feminine, will take effect on the past participle, which allows it to take an E. D'accord? That's why it has an E. We can see it. We know what it's replacing. Did you eat the meat yesterday? Yes, I ate it. Okay? Now, quelqu'un a volé mon sac et mon téléphone. Someone stole my bag and my phone. Someone stole my bag and my phone. Who stole them? The two of them. So we have two things have been stolen. Qui a volé quoi? They stole what? Mon sac, singular, et mon téléphone. The two together now make it plural. Though telephone is masculine, we have mon sac. They are both masculine. So we just add an S so that voler, which is the past participle, will agree with the direct object here, which is also plural. Ça va? Okay. Now let's look at this one. J'ai pris la photo hier. I snapped the picture yesterday. J'ai pris la photo hier. The question is, j'ai pris quoi? J'ai pris quoi? French, you say prendre la photo, which means like take a picture. So you say, I took what? La photo, which is direct object. Now, here there's no agreement. We don't do any agreement. But look at this sentence. C'est la photo que j'ai prise hier. This is the photo that I took yesterday. This is another mistake that I've got to correct. All right, we'll continue. If we see any, we'll correct it. This is the photo that I took yesterday. D'accord? C'est la photo que j'ai prise hier. Now, if we look at this sentence here, we say, j'ai pris quoi? I took what? La photo. And that la photo is found behind here. It's before the verb. So for that reason, the past participle phrase agrees with la photo. Feminine, and then it takes E. C'est la photo que j'ai prise hier. Je l'ai prise hier. I took that photo yesterday. I took it yesterday. J'ai pris. Je ai pris. Quoi? I took what? L apostrophe, which is la photo, so it takes E. All right. So these rules are very, very important. They are very important when you are dealing with, direct object pronouns in passé composé. They are very, very important. Okay. So we will continue. Now let's talk about the pronoun un. Un. It's a pronoun that replaces a direct object. Okay. It always replaces an expression of quantity, an indefinite or partitive article. So when we say indefinite articles, we are talking about un, une, des. Partitive articles are du, de la, de L apostrophe, and also des, which is also partitive. It depends. Now, the number of quantity expression is repeated after the conjugated verb. The number or quantity expression is repeated after the conjugated verb. Now let's look at some expressions. There's some examples. Combien, how many? Combien de stylos achetez-vous? How many pens are you buying? You say, nous en achetons deux. Nous, un. Ici, c'est des stylos. But the number of the stylo we are buying, the number will be there, but the stylo itself is not there, which is replaced. Nous en achetons deux. We are buying two of them. Okay? We are buying two of them. Vous avez beaucoup de pommiers? Do you have a lot of apple trees? Okay, do you have a lot of apple trees? That's what it should be. Do you have a lot of them, a lot of apple trees? Vous avez beaucoup de pommiers? Non. Je n'en ai pas beaucoup. Je n'en ai pas beaucoup. So you can see, en here is replacing what? Pommier. D'accord? Pommier. The pommier. Beaucoup. I do not have, many of them. Many. I do not have many. I do not have many of them. All right? So, let's look at this last one. Tu prends du lait de coco? Do you take coconut milk? Tu prends du lait de coco? Do you take coconut milk? Du lait de coco. Coconut milk. You say, no, je n'en prends pas. No, I don't. Which means, no, I don't take it. Okay? No, I don't. It's, no, I don't take it. It. Here is replacing du lait de coco. Okay, this can be a lot, but I would want you to take time. If there are things I explain you do not understand, please go back, slow the video. This is YouTube. You can slow it and get more explanation, on all these, because they are very, very important, for you to understand. Now, very important also to take note. Remember, we said if you use a direct object pronoun in passé composé with verb avoir, if it is placed before the verb, then the past participle will agree with the pronoun. But in case of un, it doesn't happen. In passé composé, the past participles never agree with the pronoun un. If you use the pronoun un, they do not agree. In fact, there are rules that say if you use the pronoun L apostrophe, but that's in case if the person just speak and we don't know, we were not aware of what he was talking about. So let's not go there so that I don't get you confused. But in this case, with un, you don't need to make any agreement. For instance, as-tu acheté des bananes mûres? Oh, ça encore, c'est une erreur. Anyway, the system I used was correcting everything I wrote in French. As-tu acheté des bananes mûres? Did you buy ripe bananas? I say, oui. J'en ai acheté. Yes, I bought some. J'en ai acheté. Des bananes mûres. Ripe bananas. Now, if this was to be the normal rules, banana in French, you see, I explain it here. Here, even though the direct object banane is feminine in French because we say la banane and plural with S, the past participle acheté does not agree with it. Okay, it does not agree with the pronoun un. All right, so that's the important part that you need to take, you need to take note of, and then work on it. Okay, now finally, we are going to look at l'impératif. When you are making command in French, you're making command and you have to use direct objects, in your sentence. So direct object pronouns are attached to the end of affirmative commands. There are affirmative commands. If I say go there, that's affirmative. If I say don't go there, that's negative. Okay, so that's what we call the end of affirmative commands with a hyphen. That's the first thing. Now let's look at what that means. Achète la voiture, buy the car. Buy the car. Achète-la, buy it. So you can see here la voiture is not placed before the verb, but it's placed after the verb in between. There must be an hyphen. There must be. This hyphen is very, very important. Achète-la, buy it. Finissons nos devoirs. Let's finish our assignment. Finissons-les. Let's finish them. Because this is plural, third person, so it's replaced by les. Finissons-les. Let's finish them. Okay, but now, me and te that we use usually that are placed before the verb. In imperative affirmative, they are placed after the verb with hyphen. Okay, like something like regarde-moi, look at me. Regarde-moi, regarde-moi, look at me. All right, regarde-moi, look at me. So these are a few rules that actually helps in achieving this quickly. I hope you do have an understanding of all this. So now let's look at negative. If we've talked about the affirmative commands, let's look at negative commands. In negative commands, pronouns precede the verb. Now, in negative, they do the right thing. They are placed before the verb. So, me and te are used for the first and second person. Now, in ne and pas goes around the object pronoun and the verb. So, the verb and the pronoun will be in the middle, and ne and pas will go around. For instance, n'achète pas les bananes. Do not buy bananas. N'achète pas, ne achète pas les bananes. Ne les achète pas. So you have ne and pas, which goes around the pronoun and then the verb. N'achète pas les bananes. Do not buy bananas. Do not buy them. Ne les achète pas. Regarde-moi. Look at me. Now, moi in negative now takes the normal form me, but instead of being after the verb, it's now placed before the verb. This is the verb. It's now placed before the verb as normally the way it should be. It's placed before the verb. Regarde-moi. Look at me. Ne me regarde pas. Do not look at me. Ne me regarde pas. Do not look at me. Let's see this one too. Conduisez-nous. Drivers. Conduisez-nous. Drivers. Ne nous conduisez pas. Do not drive us. Ne nous conduisez pas. Do not drive us. So basically, these are all the rules, all the major rules that you need, to actually master if you want to deal with direct object pronouns in French. This is important because the indirect objects also look alike, but if you do not know the difference between them, you will get confused. So the next class we'll be looking at the indirect objects, used in these same, styles. We'll look at each of them. We'll look at how they are being used, just like we've explained this. Now, this is an assignment. It's not too much. I want you to stop here. Is this the last slide actually? Just look at this, and this is what you should do. Write the answers. Answer, what do you think is answer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6? Write them in the comment section. Let me see if you're able to get them right or not. So, thank you for enjoying this class. I hope you've learned something today. It might look a lot, but if you go back to the beginning, you can take your time and go through the video, and then you can have, all the explanations. If you have questions, of course, you can drop them in the comment section, or you can reach out to me if you know how to do that. Allez, au revoir.